everybody, and welcome to our third video. Today we're going to follow on a little bit on what we've already learned in video 1 and 2, and again you can take each of those little short videos on their own or you can combine them all together. Okay, we're going to use the Theraband today. So Theraband, one of our smallest and easiest and most portable little props that we can use. So let's start off with our breathing. Now you can stand on or off your mat. You can find a little space here where you've got plenty of space to move your arms, and I'm just going to take the Theraband around my mid back. I'm holding the Theraband between my index finger and my thumbs. Taking a breath in and feeling the breath pushing out into the Theraband, and then exhaling, releasing it back down again. Breathing in again, taking a moment to notice how my breath pushes into the Theraband with the inhale. And a long, slow exhale as it depresses down. Let's just go for 3 more of those, checking the feet are hip width apart. One more. Lovely. Now let's just slide the hands out a little further onto our Theraband. They're just in line with our shoulders. That's an inhale out. Exhale, open out to the side. Feel the shoulder blades now starting to wing slightly inwards towards your spine. You're in a neutral pelvis. The feet are anchored down to the floor, all 10 toes. Let's go again. Inhale out. And exhale. Take it back in. Inhale out. Exhale, take it back in, bring your elbows into the side body. Yes, your band will go slack. Inhale out with those arms. Exhale, open. Inhale back to center and release back in. And again, inhale out. Exhale, open. Inhale back in and release. I'm going to take the Theraband out and I'm going to double it over. Just giving myself a little bit of resistance. Feet anchored into the ground. Shoulders are relaxed. Let's just go for maybe 1 or 2 little rolls forward and back. So I'm going back right now, inhaling and exhaling, and then inhaling and exhaling. Lovely. Lift those arms just out in front of the chest, and we're going to just slowly lift the arms. Inhale, and then a little tiny pull of the band as we exhale, just back in front of the chest. Inhale, lift. Now I'm just doing a couple of reps of each of these because I'm limited to the amount of time I can record. So if you want to stop and start this and do as many reps as you like for each one of these little warm-ups or any of the exercise we're going to do, please feel free to do that. And then take the band all the way down to your thighs. Now I'm going to turn sideways so you can see. I'm going to widen my stance a little bit more. Draw that belly in, tuck that tailbone slightly under. And I'm going to start to find my neutral pelvis. As I inhale, come down into my squat. Little pull of my band without rounding my shoulders forward. Exhale, draw back in. Let's go for 10. Inhale down. Exhale, little pull, draw back in. Retract the shoulder blades back. Now try to go a little lower each time. Feel like your thighs are wrapping outwards. And you're really got all 10 toes now anchored down into the floor, but you're going to feel this a little bit more into the outside of your foot. Perhaps you can go a little bit lower. Keep your chest lifted. Crown of the head is reaching now. This time we're going to come down and stay here. Little tiny pulses and little tiny pull of your band for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stand back up again. Lovely. Now let's bring our feet a little tiny bit closer. And we're going to bring the heels even closer now. Heels together, change of plan. Toes apart. We're going to inhale, lift up, squeeze the heels. Exhale, lower back down again. Inhale, lift up. That's lovely. Exhale, lower back down again. Now this time when you lift your band, can you lift your heels, but keep your heels squeezing. You're not going to get them very far off the ground. Now how slowly can you release the feet and the band back to the floor? Be careful you're not rounding that. Retract those shoulder blades back. Here we go. Lift your band, lift your heels, and exhale, release back to your thighs again. Inhale, lifting up. Now squeeze the heels Next time we come up, we're going to stay up here. Inhale, lift the heels, lift your band. Retract those shoulder blades back, draw them down ever so slightly, and take your band now down in front of your chest. Your heels are still squeezing. Let's pull slightly on your band for 1. Exhale 2. Exhale 3. Exhale 4. Exhale 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Drop your heels down. Separate your feet hip width apart again. And let's just go for a not quite as wide a squat as we did already. We're going to inhale down, take our band out in front, lift it a little higher. Keep it there, rise back up, pull your band. Drop back down. Pull your band when you come up. Inhale down, exhale lift. Now you got to be careful here that you don't pull those shoulders up towards the ears. So you've got to engage the muscles underneath your shoulder blades. And a little tiny pull of this band should help to fire into that just a tad. Okay, let's come all the way down here. Stay down here. Bring our band out to the front. Lift those heels. They don't have to be lifted a huge amount off the floor. Can you drop the right hand in the direction of the floor? And then drop the left hand. A little tiny pull on my band. My heels are lifted. Keep drawing your belly in as you give that little pull on the band. And we'll just go for 2 more here. Back to our center. Drop our heels down. And let's make our way down to our mat. Okay, so you can come down in a low squat and just drop yourself down to your floor if that works for you. Obviously, that's not essential and it's not something you have to do. Always make your way down in the safest, most comfortable way. I'm going to take the band around the top of my toes and around pretty much 2/3 of my foot actually. And I'm holding onto my band with an overgrip. So in other words, an undergrip will be my hands this way and this is an overgrip. Feet are probably 2 fist widths apart, knees are going to do the same thing. And I'm going to start to think about the space between my ribs and my hips. We covered all of this in the last 2 videos. So let's just take a breath in. And as we exhale, we're going to curl that tailbone slightly under and release back. Now, I'm going to go to the point a little bit further now because we've done quite a bit of this in the last videos. I'm going to lift my arms a little bit. Use the resistance of the band to help me round forward and then stack up onto my sit bones. So we got 6 of these. Ready to go? Breath in. Exhale. Inhale. Lift the arms without lifting the shoulders. Exhale, flex over, build that spine back up again and again. Elbows are hooked in close to the side of the ribs. Exhale, roll down until your arms are long. Perhaps go a little further this time. Inhale, lift your arms. Now use your waist muscles, your belly muscles, not your arms, to draw you back up. And then make sure you build from the base of the spine and off we go again. Exhaling back. Rolling down a little further this time. Maybe we'll go to the tips of the shoulder blades. Lift the arms. Rolling back up again. And building that spine. We've got 2 more. Exhaling, rolling down. Getting heat into the body now. Going all the way to the tips of my shoulder blades. Lifting my arms. Exhale, rolling back up again. And stacking up. And I'm going to bring my elbows in quite close to my sides and enjoy that little squeeze inwards, which will open through the front of my chest, encouraging my spine to become longer. Rolling back down again. Last one. Lift the arms, roll back up again. And let's build that spine. Let's keep the strap around our right foot. And we're going to make our way down to our mat, checking there's nothing behind us. Now, if you want to pop a block or a cushion or something behind your head, if that feels a little easier, do it like that. Otherwise, take your head all the way to the floor. So I'm just getting rid of anything that might get in the way of my neck. Okay, I'm bringing my right leg up towards the ceiling and I'm anchoring both elbows down to the floor. So I'm holding on to both straps as such. So with my elbows anchored down, I can really drop my femur into the hip socket and I can also get a nice opportunity to feel the hamstrings here, okay? So just find a comfortable position here and then just bend your knee to 90 degrees. Extend your leg up towards the ceiling, bend your knee. So that's just a bend and an extend. Now check that when you bend your knee,
that your knee is not in too close to your chest, that it's just here at that 90-degree angle. So knee to ankle, knee straight down, pointing down towards hip. And also check that you're not floating into the midline of your body, okay? And from here, we're going to stretch that leg up long, and we're going to draw the toes down towards us. Then we're going to bend the knee right in so the heel will come in towards the sit bone, and then we're going to extend that leg up long again, flexing the foot. Now point your toes, flex your foot, push your heel towards your ceiling, point your toes, getting a little ankle mobility going here. And your Theraband is a really useful little tool, little prop for getting a little bit deeper into perhaps hamstrings. Oh, you can hear cracking there of tendons. So we're going to just go for a few little, almost like pumps. And this not only going to get into our ankle, but we're going to get into the back of the leg, preparing also for leg circles and into our bridging. Okay, from here, push your heel towards the ceiling, lower your leg down, hover it off the floor, point and come back up again. Flex and lower, point and lift. Now keep your elbows on the floor and keep your wrists neutral. In other words, don't kind of flex over with your wrists. You want to keep everything neutral. Lovely. Now let's bring that leg all the way up to center, and I'm going to slide my left leg away. Now only do this if it's comfortable and if you can keep that long leg on the floor. Okay, I'm going to pass the straps over to my right hand, still anchoring my elbow into the floor, and I'm going to start to draw lovely circles, inhaling. So I'm going to exhale as I let my leg falls out to the side, inhale as I take it back up, and a little pause in center. Exhale out, inhale, back up to center. And again. How's your left hip doing? Perhaps you want to take your hand onto your left hip to make sure it's not rolling away. And let's go the other way. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. We'll go for 6. And there's 4, 5, and 6. Nice job. Let's take the 2 feet in, and then we'll take the right foot back down. Okay, left foot is now in the straps. I'm holding on to the 2 straps with my left hand. My elbows anchored into my side. And let's make sure that my right leg is in line with my right hip and my shoulder. And we're pressing in with the feet into that, that side of the floor mat. I'm going to push my heel to the ceiling now, point my toes. Getting that little bit of pumping going on. And if you want to, you could do some little ankle circles here, but make sure it's just the ankle and not, you're not moving the whole leg, okay? You can, that's just something else you can do. Lovely. And then we're going to start to draw those circles. Inhaling. I'm going across the midline of my body. Now perhaps I need to anchor my right foot, my right ribs, my left side of my hips. Need to make sure everything's anchored down. 5 and 6. Let's go back the other way. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold it up here. Let's go the other way. Inhaling across, exhale back up. So whichever direction you've just gone, take it in the opposite direction. And the main thing here is that you don't let the right hip wobble around too much. Now it's going to move a little bit. And we also want to make sure we're doing those circles and not just making a kind of a funny shape. We want to get into that hip socket, into that little size of an egg cup really, little ball and joint. Okay, back to center. Lovely. Let's take both feet into our Theraband. And we're going to bring both knees to 90 degrees. Our elbows are on the floor. Let's nod our chin and exhale, lift our chest, extend our legs long, and bring ourselves all the way up to seated. I'm going to take my Theraband and I'm going to wrap it around my thighs. Well, let's just go 1 rep here. Maybe we'll go around twice. But if you go around twice and you're on a medium band, don't make it too tight. If you're on a stronger band, definitely just go around 1. So I want to have about hip width apart with enough wriggle room as such. So my band will kind of go slack if my legs came together. Okay, rolling back down onto your floor again. Feet are hip width apart. We're going to get rid of the head support behind us. And let's take a breath in. Exhale, we're going to roll into that little imprint, support the spine. Inhale, back to neutral. Exhale into that little imprint and then start to peel and lift. Now we're going to feel like we're pushing our knees out over our toes, but our legs are actually pressing out into the band. So we're getting a kind of an oppositional feel here. Let's remember shoulders, hips, knees. We want that ski slope. Feel like the knees now are really reaching away from you, pressing your arms into the floor, and then keep your hips as high as you can. And let's roll back down, bone by bone. Ribs need to soften at the end. Take a breath in, exhale, peel and lift back up again. Now normally we do about 8 reps here. We're going to do about 4, and then we're going to change a little bit, and then we're going to add on. But again, you can do more reps when you're doing this maybe on your own if you want to. Now lift back up again. That's 3, roll back down. All the way up to the top. Now this time we're going to stay here on number 4. And we're going to just let both knees move slightly outwards and release back in. Now remember all your, so keep going. Remember all your little cues of rolling that tailbone under slightly, gliding that pubic bone up towards your ribs, and gliding your breastbone down towards that pubic bone. Then you should start to feel this a little bit more into your booty, into those butt muscles. Lovely jubbly. Let's take it here for a moment and just regroup, okay? I'm going to press into my arms and then inhale, drop down towards my floor. Exhale, pick back up again. Fingertips reaching to the ceiling, just adding to that little bit of stability through the back of the shoulder girdle. We're going to go for 6 of these, 6 more. And 1. Drop those hips down, take your hands behind your head, interlacing your hands behind your head. Let's lift those elbows. Exhale, lift your up. You're coming up into your chest lift. Elbows reaching towards the front of your mat. Take your right leg into 90 degrees. Leave it there, guys. Leave it there. You got that lovely straight line. And then I want you to draw that thigh just a little bit closer. And then find that space again. And release back to the floor, but keep your thigh there. Big breath in. Exhale, lift your chest. Inhale, reach both arms long and float the second leg up. Now, if this is too much for you, hands back behind the head, okay? You can always have one hand behind the head, one hand reaching long. And let's just open those legs out and close. Both knees fall out to the side and close. A little bit easier with both hands behind your head. And close again. You can take one foot down if this is a little bit too much for you. There's always modifications. You can take your head to the floor if you're feeling this on the back of your neck. We'll just go 2 more here, but we're going to keep the legs where they are and then draw everything in towards the chest. Head comes down to the floor and just roll yourself slightly from side to side. Okay, hands back behind the head, interlacing the hands behind the head. Elbows are pointed slightly in the direction of the front of my mat. Knees come back to that 90 degrees. Exhale, lift the chest. Extend the left leg long, bring the right heel up now. So we're going to draw that right thigh in towards us a little bit more. And here we go. And back to center. Let's add a little twist, a little oblique to it. We're going to rotate the right shoulder towards the left knee. Extend the right leg long. Now let's reach down with the right hand and hold on to the outside of the left thigh and lift yourself a little bit higher. Maybe even lifting your left shoulder blade off the mat just a little bit. And just exhale into that. And again. And then take everything back to center. And let's reach over to the other side. Stretching the left leg long, taking the left hand onto the outside of that right leg and letting yourself come up a little bit higher. Lifting that right shoulder blade off the floor. So there's your obliques. You can feel them now connecting as you lift a little higher. And then take everything back to center and release back to your floor. So let's just add this all together now. Exhale, lift the chest. Extend right leg long, twist over towards the left knee, back to center, to the other side. And let's go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to center. Woo-hoo, down to your floor. Knees in towards the chest, and then let's take one foot down, take the other foot down. Can we roll over from here onto our right side? And we're going to come up onto the elbow, and we're going to lift those heels. Now I'm going to check that my heels are in line with my sit bones. And let's inhale, open, and exhale, close. Now feel free to come down here and pop your head onto the support, but make sure your arms are in line with your chest. So that is an option. So you can be here on your elbow with one hand just resting on the floor, or you can have the two arms reaching out in front. Let's go, squeeze those heels together for another 6. Starting to get loads of heat now. 5, 4, 3, 2. Can we hold the knee up here on 1? Hold it up here. Release the arm away. Reach it away towards the other side of your room, and then drop the bottom leg down. Let's take the top leg and bring it to the front of our mat just a little bit. We're going to go for little tiny pulses up, pressing up into that band. Lovely. And then we're going to bring that to the middle of our mat, so we're directly in line with our shoulder and our hip. And let's go for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Bend your knee, and let's take the knee to the opposite knee down on the floor, and let's take the foot to the foot, knee to knee, heel to heel, or toe to toe. We'll go for 4, we'll go for 3, we'll go for 2, and we'll go for 1. Drop those knees down, and now release all the way to the floor, stretching your legs long. And let's just inhale, lift that top leg to hip height, and release it back down. My legs are long, they're not forward, they're not back. I'm in that one long line. Let's lift that top leg up now. And we are going to stay here and just take our front hand down onto the floor. Now you might want to bend the underneath leg ever so slightly. We're going to bring that top leg slightly forward, and then bring it slightly back behind us. Bring it just a little bit to the front, and now take it back behind us. Now when you found that place where you've got that lovely stretch to the front of your thigh, we're going to start going in for a few little leg circles here. I'm going in a clockwise direction. Relaxing your top shoulder. And let's change direction for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend that knee down, and let's just push up. And we're going to bring ourselves over to the other side. So just coming over to the other side. Now you can be up here if you prefer, or you can be down here, or you can be like this. So maybe on this side, I'm going to bring myself all the way to the floor. Bringing the feet off the floor, let's inhale, open, and exhale, close. Feel free to bring that arm up now, but try not to have it overhead. You want to have it kind of reaching away from you a little bit. Inhale, open, exhale, close, inhale, exhale. Now we're just going to hold the knee up here this time. Little tiny pulse up for 4, for 3, for 2, 1. Drop the bottom leg down. Take the top leg. You can bend the underneath leg ever so slightly. I'm going to bring that back leg behind me, but make sure my top hip is facing forward. And then I'm going to sweep that leg just a little bit in front, keeping it at hip height, and then bring it back behind. Now if you need to take your hand down for support, do. And then reach it in front. And then sweep it back behind, flex it and bring it to the front. It's sort of a modified side leg kick. And then as I take the leg back behind me this time with a flexed foot, I'm going to go in an anti-clockwise circle. And let's take it back the other way. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Drop both legs down. You maybe, if you're lying like this, you might want to move your arm in line with your ear. Inhale, take top leg up, drop it back down again. Oh, we forgot to do our internal, external rotation. We can come back to that. And hold it up here on 8 little tiny pulses for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend those knees back in, keep both feet on the floor. And let's just open at the knee, and we're going to go knee to knee, heel to heel, or toe to toe. Knee, foot, knee, foot. I'm going to go toe to toe. So big toe to big toe. Now really get that inward feeling of where that heel is lifted. Open again. 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. Let's just draw that in. We're going to bring ourselves up and we're going to take our Theraband off. Popping our Theraband over here behind us and then taking ourselves around onto our forearms. So, oh, what am I kicking here? On our forearms, I'm going to make a little triangle with both elbows. Be mindful that your elbows are not out to the side of the mat and you're sinking down. You want to bring those elbows in pretty close, and let's just feel like we're stretching through that back leg on the right hand side. Peel the belly away from the floor, feel the length from the crown of your head, and let's just bend the right leg up, toes are pointed. Now flex the foot, inhale and release back to the floor. So let's go inhale, let's make it an exhale kick and point and reach away. Let's try it on that leg again. Inhale up, exhale kick, point and reach away. Over to the other side. Inhale, exhale, point and reach away. Point and reach away. Kick, point and reach away. Flex, point and reach away. Flex and point and reach away. Can we come all the way down to our mat and take our two hands, one on top of the other, underneath our forehead. Feel the stretch to the front of your thighs and point your toes. And get that feeling of almost like you're lengthening actually down onto your mat. And then slide your hands around so they're just underneath your shoulders. Now, some of you may want to bring your hands a little bit wider. And I'm going to allow my legs to just fall naturally onto the mat. My nose is hovering off an imaginary marble. I'm going to inhale, roll the imaginary marble to the front of the mat. And then exhale, lift from the back of my head and from my chest. My elbows still stay on the floor. Inhale, come a little higher. Now keeping that lift through the back of the head, find your lowest rib and release back to your floor again. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale a little higher and exhale, release back to the floor. And again, inhale. Exhale. Inhale a little higher and exhale, release back to your floor. One more. And release back down. Nice. Let's just push back into a child's pose. A child's pose being the knees are apart either side of your mat and your heels and your backside are as closely connected as possible. Your forehead can even come down to the floor. And then let's take it up into our quadruped again. And remember your bird dogs, lifting up through your center. Let's reach the left leg behind, press into the top of the toes, and let's reach the fingertips of the right arm in front. And then exhale, hover both arm and both leg. Now this time I'm going to open my left leg slightly to the left and my right arm slightly to the right, and then close back in again. And take that hand and take that knee down. Now be mindful when you take your knees down that you don't bring them together, they stay hip width apart, and that you're still lifting up through that central area. So let's slide the right foot behind, left arm in front, and let's bring everything up, remembering to lift now through that center. And we're keeping our torso fairly taut, fairly tight, as we take the right leg slightly to the right, left leg comes out, close back in again. One more. And take it back to center. Okay, we're going to finish up with a roll up, but we're going to use our Theraband to bring us up. So let's take our Theraband around our feet, just like we did when we did our half roll backs earlier on. So it's going to give me that little extra help on the way back up. It's practically dark up here now. So I'm going to bring my Theraband again around the front of my feet, and I'm going to take an over grip this time. Okay, still got my over grip. Actually, maybe we'll take an under grip. Yeah, let's take an under grip this time, okay? So I'm feeding it out through the thumb and the knuckles as such. And let's exhale, roll down. You can let your band go slack, rolling down to the floor. Now nod your chin, lift your arms a little bit, and exhale. Now don't let the band do all the work. Allow yourself to roll back up, and I'm going to take the band in towards my chest and then peel up nice and tall, a little bit different. Exhale as I roll back down, bone by bone by bone by bone by bone. And feel the back of the head resting on the floor. Inhale, nod the chin, lift the arms ever so slightly. Enough that you can feel a little resistance there. And there'll be a soft bend on your elbows now, and then the bend becomes a little bit more as the elbows come out to the side. Thumbs, knuckles touching off each other, and then build that spine back up again. And again, scooping your belly. Exhale, rolling, 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 all the way down. Inhale, nod the chin, lift the arms a little bit. Exhale, roll back up again. Now let's fold over a little bit more this time. And when we build that spine up, let's open the arms out to the side. Let the chest be proud. Inhale, take the arms in. Exhale, open. And just fold forward and release your band. Very slowly, without using our hands, we're going to bring ourselves around to kneeling. And from kneeling, if it's not comfortable to kneel, then just have your legs out in front, okay? Let's just reach those arms out to the side. The palms of the hands are reaching towards the ceiling. And let's inhale, lift our gaze towards the ceiling. Exhale, open those arms back to the sides. Take a breath in. And exhale, release all the way down. Short and sweet. Thank you for joining me today. And hopefully I will see you soon, either online, on Zoom, or maybe wave at you across the road. Okay, thank you so much.